For a handful of experiments in 1440, we're going to be using a pH probe. And again, I'm always wearing my nitrile gloves and my safety glasses. You're not allowed to work in the lab without these two safety items, and also the appropriate attire like closed-toed shoes and things like that. You'll notice that this is my pH probe. It's in a solution. This is I think it's a 0.1 molar potassium chloride solution, aqueous solution. It's really important that we keep it in some aqueous solution at all times. It's connected to the PowerLink passport system, which is connected to the computer. So if you've worked in a lab that uses a pH meter, this is a little bit different because we have to tell the computer how to do everything instead of just base of the pH meter. Before I start my readings, I have to calibrate. I have to tell the pH probe, I have to tell the computer my low pH and a high pH. So those two data points will create a line, and all of those subsequent readings will be based off of those 2 points. So I want to take out my pH probe and I want to rinse it off. So every time I use my pH probe, I'm going to have a squeeze bottle of DI water and an empty beaker to catch the water as I rinse it off. So you can see at the base of the probe, it's kind of like a little cage around a glass ball. And it's really important that I don't touch it, I don't stick anything in there, I don't wipe it off with a paper towel, I don't want anything touching that. I'm just going to rinse it off every time. Every time I'm changing solutions. So this needs to be in a solution. I can tap a little bit just gently to get some of that liquid off, because I'm going to put it in this pink solution as a pH 4 buffer. It's a standard. I poured it from my standard jug into my beaker, so I know it's all set. So I have to calibrate. So I have to go up to the computer. I'm going to click Setup, and then I'm going to click Calibrate, and there will be 2 points. So point number 1 is my 4, my low pH, and this is a pH 4. So right now it's reading about 4.77. but it needs to be 4. This is a standardized solution. It is pH 4, so I'm going to set that standard. And then I'm going to go back to my probe. I'm going to rinse it off. If I took it straight from my pH 4 buffer into my pH 10 buffer, then my reading's going to be off because I'm changing the pH of the solution. So I'm going to rinse it off, and then tap a little bit off that glass bulb without actually touching the glass bulb. And then I'm going to gently set it in my pH 10. So the blue is my pH 10 buffer. So right now it's reading about 9.3, which is pretty close, but we're going to set it to 10. And there it is, about 9.9. Okay, so we can stir it around and you can reset it again. There we go. Okay. Now I want to measure the pH of my solution, so I can have my beaker over here. But again, I'm not going to just move it from my pH 10 buffer because I've got all of these droplets still clinging onto that glass bulb. So I have to rinse it off, and I'll tap a little bit because I don't want to dilute my solution. I don't want to bring a bunch of water into my solution that I'm measuring the pH. And I'll stir it around a little bit. Now this system is a little different than a pH meter because most pH meters are just automatically reading the pH once you turn them on. This one you actually have to click Start. If you can't see it, it's probably buried. There we go. The little window that has the pH, and it just has 2 or 3 digits. Stir it around a little bit, wait for it to stabilize, and record your pH. Every time you're recording a pH, you need to stop and rinse off your pH probe in between. When it's not in use, it needs to be back in its storage solution. Do not lay these on the counter. They have to be in liquid at all times. So pretty easy to use. That's how you use a pH probe.